With the release of the Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remasters coming on December 6th, I figured now would be the perfect time to recap the events leading up to Soul Reaver. The Legacy of Kain lore is vast and easy to get lost in. This is not a detailed retelling, just a quick overview of events. The Legacy of Kain is a long saga of betrayal, fate, and the consequences of trying to change one's destiny. At the start of Blood Omen, the Circle of Nine includes Nupraptor, Guardian of the Mind; Malik, Guardian of Conflict; Bane, Guardian of Nature; Dejul, Guardian of Energy; Azimuth, Guardian of Dimensions; Mobius, Guardian of Time; Anarchroth, Guardian of Alchemy; Mortanius, Guardian of Death; and Ariel, Guardian of Balance. Nosgoth is ruled by King William the Just, a young kind monarch. Two travelers from the future arrive in Nosgoth through Mobius's chronoplast chamber, a wraith and a vampire lord, each seeking the other's destruction. With Mobius's guidance, the wraith finds the Soul Reaver in the Seraphan fortress. His wraith blade coils around the Soul Reaver, awakening a sentient, soul-consuming entity. Armed with this power, the wraith vows to seek Janos Audron and leaves through the chronoplast device. The Circle of Nine later becomes corrupted. During a ritual, Mortanius becomes possessed by a demon, Hasak Gik, who orchestrates Ariel's murder. Her lover Nupraptor, driven mad with grief, projects his insanity onto the Circle, corrupting each Guardian. Mortanius then communes with Ariel's spirit, planning to save the Circle by eliminating its corrupted members. Meanwhile, Mobius discovers an ancient entity, the Elder God, who directs him to destroy the vampires. Mobius takes the Soul Reaver, travels back in time, and presents it to King William, advising him into paranoia and tyranny. William abandons his throne and returns as the Nemesis, vowing to destroy Nosgoth. King Otmar replaces William as ruler and prepares for battle. Mortanius hires mercenaries to kill Kain, the New Balance Guardian, still unaware of his destiny. Kain dies in combat, and Mortanius, communicating with his spirit, offers him a chance for revenge. Kain, resurrected as a vampire, accepts, beginning his quest for vengeance. Following Mortanius's guidance, Kain travels to the Pillars and meets Ariel, who urges him to kill the corrupted Guardians. His first target is Nupraptor, whose madness infected the Circle. Kain kills Nupraptor, restores the Pillar of the Mind, and continues his journey. Next, Kain faces the Conflict Guardian, Malik, but cannot defeat him alone. He consults the Oracle, who directs him to Vorador, an ancient vampire. Vorador offers Kain advice and a magical ring to summon him when needed. Kain then ventures to Dark Eden, where he confronts Bane, Anarchroth, and Dejul. Anarchroth summons Malik, but Kain uses Vorador's ring, and they fight together. Kain kills Bane and Dejul, later restoring their pillars. Kain's quest continues in Avernus, where he confronts Azimuth, the Dimension Guardian, among demonic invaders. There, he finds the Soul Reaver blade, and unique armor powered by souls. Kain defeats Azimuth, restores the Dimension Pillar, and acquires a time-streaming device left by Mobius. Learning that Nosgoth faces destruction from Nemesis's forces, Kain seeks an alliance with King Otmar. Otmar has lost hope after the sorcerer Elzevir trapped his daughter's soul in a doll. Kain kills Elzevir, restoring the girl's soul, and Otmar agrees to fight. During the ensuing battle, Kain faces defeat and escapes using the time-streaming device, traveling 50 years into the past. There, he confronts King William and kills him, altering history. Mobius uses this act to spark a crusade against vampires. When Kain returns to his time, he witnesses the genocide of his kind, including Vorador's execution. In revenge, Kain kills Mobius, restoring the Pillar of Time.
In the past, you turned William the Just into the Nemesis.
Aye, you have seen my plan, vampire, as I've seen your destiny. The future says you die.
But I am dead. As are you.
Later, Kain overhears Mortanius and Anarchroth arguing. Realizing Mortanius orchestrated the Circle's destruction, Anarchroth attacks, but Mortanius kills him. Mortanius then reveals that Kain's path was guided to ensure Nosgoth's future. The two fight, but Mortanius' death releases the demon Hashakik, who reveals its plan to destroy Nosgoth.
You thought yourself a king, when in fact you were a pawn. You have served me well, Kain.
Kain refuses to yield, banishing the demon. He restores the Pillars of Death and Alchemy. Finally, Ariel appears and reveals Kain is the Balance Guardian, who must die for Nosgoth's restoration. Faced with sacrificing himself to save the world, or ruling in its damnation, Kain chooses power. He walks away, leaving the shattered pillars, condemning Nosgoth to decay, while Ariel's spirit is bound to haunt the ruins forever.
Once I embraced my powers, I realized that Vorador was correct. We are gods. Dark gods. And it is our duty to thin the herd.
Two centuries later, Nosgoth is under the oppressive rule of the Seraphon Order, with the fanatical Seraphon Lord at its head. In the city of Meridian, Glyphrites have set up magical devices powered by glyph energy, while demons haunt the wilderness beyond. In this transformed world, Kain awakens, weakened and with shattered memories. Driven by vengeance against the Seraphon Lord, he allies with Uma and the vampire resistance known as the Cabal. Uma guides Kain to regain some of his lost powers, helping him escape Seraphon patrols and reach Sanctuary, Vorador's secret base. When a Seraphon guard disrupts their journey, Uma directs Kain to a smuggler's tunnel. There he meets Faustus, a former ally turned Seraphon agent who taunts Kain before they battle.
Well, well, our lord was correct. You are alive. Do you remember me, Kain, who served you so well?
It was Faustus, one of the legionnaires of my army of vampires, an indifferent servant, but now a traitor to our race.
Kain triumphs, absorbing a new dark gift from Faustus's blood. In the lower city, Uma and Kain part ways again, and Kain fights his way through Seraphon guards and rogue vampires. He finally reaches Vorador, who informs him of Uma's capture. To rescue her, Kain must first gain entry to the Seraphon fortress, a secret the Bishop of Meridian holds. Along the way, Kain encounters Marcus, a former enemy with newfound psychic powers. Despite Marcus's attempts to control Kain's mind, Kain prevails, gaining another dark gift, and learning the location of the fortress entrance. Inside the fortress, Kain cuts down guards and assassinates a traitor before reaching Uma's cell. But they are confronted by the Seraphon Lord himself, wielding the Soul Reaver. Kain, too weak for a direct fight, escapes with Uma back to Sanctuary.
Die, fiend!
No, Kain! He is too strong for you, Kain. With the Soul Reaver, he can kill us both.
I am your fate, Kain. Now and forever. However long you delay, you will come to me for your sins.
There, Vorador reveals a powerful relic, the Nexus Stone, which can block the Soul Reaver's power. Determined, Kain heads to the industrial quarter to retrieve it. After battling his way through guards and traps, Kain faces another former ally turned traitor, Sebastian, who reveals the Seraphon Lord's plan to activate an ancient weapon, the device, capable of wiping out all opposition. Kain kills Sebastian, claiming the Nexus Stone. With it, he seeks out the Seer, an ancient being who explains the device's nature, before sacrificing herself to grant Kain the telekinetic power needed to enter it. Inside the device, Kain meets a monstrous creature that explains the device's origins and purpose. To destroy it, Kain must journey to the Eternal Prison and seek guidance from its creator, the Builder.
There is a place in Nosgoth, far to the north, where time means nothing, where hours and years are frozen for eternity. The Eternal Prison. The wretches imprisoned there pay for their crimes for eternity. The Builder is there. Tell him you wish to destroy the device. Believe me, he will aid you.
After battling deranged guardians and twisted inmates, Kain locates the Builder, who reveals the device's weakness in exchange for the release of death.
I will bring the Sarafan Lord's plans tumbling before him.
Armed with this knowledge and empowered by the Builder's blood, Kain returns to the device. In the heart of the machine, Kain poisons the creature known as the Mass, triggering a destructive chain reaction that collapses the device and ends the Sarafan Lord's ambitions. Though victorious, Kain leaves Meridian knowing the battle for Nosgoth is far from over, with only a dark path ahead. Kain, now the self-proclaimed ruler of Nosgoth, is driven by a relentless search for knowledge and control. Uma, recognizing Kain's merciless tendencies, steals the Nexus Stone, apprehensive of his burgeoning aspirations. Kain, compelled to capture her, ultimately slays her for her treachery, but feels a tinge of remorse.
Kain, I'm dying.
Yes, you are.
I need your blood. Please, you can save me.
I know. Tell me, child, do you see me ruling Nosgoth?
Yes, I see it now.
And do you believe that Nosgoth rightly belongs to me?
I do. I believe it, Kain. Please.
Then you may die, knowing the truth.
No!
You should never have betrayed me. You could have been my queen.
Kain. Oh.
Now, you have left me alone.
With the Nexus Stone once again in his possession, Kain readies himself for the ultimate confrontation against the Sarafan Lord. Fully cognizant of the implications at stake, he stands ready to engage in the final battle. Within the very heart of the Mass, Kain confronts the Sarafan Lord in the ultimate showdown. Equipped with the Nexus Stone, Kain remains invulnerable to the Soul Reaver's influence, giving him the means to engage in a fierce battle with his ancient adversary. After a relentless struggle, Kain emerges victorious, obliterating the Mass and thwarting the Hilden's resurgence in Nosgoth. With his triumph against the Hyaldan Lord and the disintegration of the Sarafan Order, Kain stands as the victorious Dark Lord of Nosgoth. Though he has regained his prowess and exerted dominion over the land, Nosgoth finds itself in a state of disarray. The seeds of future disputes have been sown amidst the fragments left in the wake of Kain's victory.
How would my rule differ from that of the Sarafan Lord? If you had lived, Uma, you would have learned the difference. You should have trusted me. The war was over, and yet there was another battle to be fought. The cruel masters of Nosgoth, the Sarafan, now leaderless, still had to be put down. There were cities to be rebuilt, and order to be restored, and a new rule, my rule, would then begin. To the victor go the spoils. At last, Nosgoth would be mine.
Which leads to the events of Soul Reaver 1. Kain, seemingly driven by a petty act of jealousy over Raziel's vampiric evolution, rips the bones from Raziel's wings. He subsequently commands his other sons to cast Raziel into the Lake of the Dead.
Cast him in.
Suffering 500 years of constant pain. When Raziel reaches the bottom, he is transformed into the spectral Soul Reaver and tasked by the Elder God to seek vengeance on Kain and his brothers for their actions.
There is no balance. The souls of the dead remain trapped. I cannot spin them in the wheel of fate. They cannot complete their destinies. Redeem yourself. Or if you prefer, avenge yourself. Settle your dispute with Kain. Destroy him and your brethren. Free their souls and let the wheel of fate churn again. Use your hatred to reave their souls. I can make it possible. Become my Soul Reaver, my angel of death.
But of course, not all is quite as it seems. If you know what I mean by that, you're going to have to play the game when it releases in a few weeks here on December 10th. I think I said the wrong date earlier. Sorry about that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this content. And if so, I hope you consider subscribing. Oh, and let me know what other things you'd like me to talk about down in the comments below. I really enjoy making this stuff for you guys. So please give me some ideas to keep it going. Anyway, that being said, take care, have a good weekend, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one. Making this video has made me want to go play Soul Reaver 2, so, yeah.